Hi. Do you read what you post? Do you read the article before you post it? I don't always, and that's a mistake. That's a failing. Do you watch the videos before you forward them on Twitter or on Facebook or whatever? You should. It's a mistake a lot of us have made. We read a headline that we think, this supports my point of view, and we put it up there. Aha! And very often the article doesn't say what you think it says. It doesn't say what the headline claims. So um, I have several friends on Twitter who are Trump supporters, and I like to um, read the posts and the articles and the videos that they send because I might learn something, and also I'm just about reconnecting and trying to understand each other a little better. It's a very small goal that I have. And there's a video going around that goes, aha, proof. These guys remove voting equipment, and here's the proof. I thought, okay, well, I certainly want to see that. So I watched for 40 minutes. Here's the story. A man who he's a self-appointed investigator from another state. He came from Ohio to Georgia to keep an eye on the election process, uh, which I kind of admire and kind of feel like, okay, well, that's his prerogative. Um, so he saw these guys. He identified them as Chinese guys taking something from a building that had a polling station in it. I'm trying to be just as accurate as I can first, uh, and 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 driving somewhere. He decided that they were removing voting equipment, so he followed them. And on the video, he said, it was very suspicious. They stopped at a gas station, but they didn't get any gas. Very suspicious. And then they go into this facility. They go through a security gate. He follows them through the security gate and calls the police. And police come and he says, "Yeah, something's up. I can tell. You can tell something's fishy going on. These guys took equipment from the." And the guy said, "Okay." And they're looking into it, and you know, they they go and ask the drivers for ID. The guys give their ID. I mean, this is just endless waiting in between. I mean, you got to admire the guy's stick-to-itiveness. Finally, the security from the building comes over and says, "What's going on?" He goes, "Oh, there's guys. They took equipment, and the guy said, "Yeah, look, we're having our phone system replaced. It's happening citywide. I didn't know they were coming today, but it checks out. I've got their ID. They also had clearance to come through the gate, and you did not, sir. So you are trespassing." And the guy said, "Well, I just didn't want to let them get away with it." And the guy said, "Well, um, uh, you don't know what you're doing." This is what the security guy said. He said, "This is a totally legitimate thing. You don't know what you're doing, and if you don't know who you're following, maybe don't follow them." Turned out they stopped at the gas station because you were freaking them out. They knew they were being followed, and they were trying to lose you because they felt scared. And they're not doing anything wrong. And you know, maybe stay in your lane. So fine. Look, the guy thought he saw something fishy. He investigated it. I'm not going to tell him not to do it. The problem I have is that Trump supporters are continuing to forward this video saying, aha, proof of election tampering, proof of fraud, proof. And there's nothing proven, is all I'm saying. In this one video, I'm not going to debate with you about whether or not there's election fraud. It's too big a topic. But what I'm saying is this. If you are a Trump supporter and you're thinking there was election fraud, and so you guys take matters into your own hands and you investigate, if you come up empty, you gotta say so. Because if we're looking for truth, we're looking for truth. You claim to be looking to uncover the truth. In this one instance, the truth was there was nothing going on. That's the truth. I saw another video from the same patriot where he followed a truck, and he and a bunch of people are sitting in, and they're almost looking for things to be suspicious about. They're like, "Well, what's in that dumpster? We don't know, do we?" Well, yeah, we never know what's in a dumpster. That's true. And they waited, and the truck said something about recycling electronics. They're like, huh, they're not even hiding it. They're obviously taking the voting machines and dismantling them, and uh, big leap in logic there. There are actual electronic recycling companies. Um, and it turned out that the truck was full of TVs. But they insisted on staying suspicious. They're like, yeah, well, why would there be TVs? Huh? Never think of that? You know, just as people are telling me in the other instance, they're saying, well, they didn't look in the boxes to see if those were actually phones being delivered. Look, there are things in boxes all over the nation right now. We're not looking in all of them because there isn't always a reason to be suspicious. It turned out that the polling station was in the same building as the place where the phone equipment was, or something like that. But you know, I am happy to support you in your search for corruption. Happy to. And if you find it, I'm going to be right there with you going, there's corruption, let's make it stop. But I also expect you to go, okay, there was no corruption here. Thank God, thank God. I'm glad we came up empty. We looked into it, and guys, it was fine. And that's your responsibility if you're a truth seeker, not to keep furthering the idea that there was something suspicious going on when there clearly wasn't, and there's nothing to support it. That, you know, you're not helping the cause if the cause is truth, if the cause is getting rid of corruption. You're not helping it by just maintaining an attitude of suspicion stubbornly, no matter what turns up or doesn't turn up. You know, again, I'm not going to try to convince you. I'm just going to say that courts have been rejecting the lawsuits with regard to election corruption. The judges are saying there isn't enough to merit a lawsuit here. And I know you're hearing something different from your sources, but if we can't. I'm concerned about you throwing everyone into the corruption pile. I'm concerned about you saying, "Oh, the judges are even these right-wing judges are part of the left-wing conspiracy." Oh, yeah, no, you can't trust the FBI. We have to take matters into our own hands. I'm worried about that. I'm worried about it getting violent. I'm worried about it getting dangerous. There have already been some terrible things that have happened and threats of terrible things happening. And I would like to encourage you to realign with your goals. If your goal is the truth, then if your investigation turns up nothing, you owe it to your fellow patriots to say, guys, there was nothing to see here. Let's keep looking elsewhere. I'd love to have your thoughts on this, especially you Trump followers, your Trump supporters. I'd love to know your thoughts on this. That's the whole point of these videos, is to get a conversation going. And if you disagree with me, I can take that. That's fine. But I'd love to hear from you. So, and again, if you like what I'm saying here, I'm just trying to bring some logic to the conversation and trying to reach out across the aisle. Please share these videos. I don't know how to get them to everybody, but I just feel like there are conversations to be had that we can have with each other and see if we can find some common ground. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.